Marshall, working as an assistant professor, PG Department of Computer Applications, St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. In this video, we are going to see Unit 2 in RDBMS, so the continuation of Part 1 of Unit 2. So in this video, we are going to see about what is keys in RDBMS, and we are going to see more about ER diagram, extended ER features, design of an ER database schema, and the reduction of ER schema to tables. First, keys. A super key of an entity set is a set of one or more attributes whose values uniquely determine each entity. So, a super key of an entity set is a set of one or more attributes whose values uniquely determine each entity. So to determine each entity, we will be using the super key. And next one is a candidate key of an entity set is a minimal super key. So for example, a candidate key is called minimal super key. For example, customer ID is a candidate key of a customer. Account number is a candidate key of account. Although several candidate keys may exist, one of the candidate keys is selected to be a primary key. So a super key can be also considered as a candidate key. So we may be having several candidate key, but one of the candidate key will be called as a primary key. Keys for relationship sets. The combination of primary keys of the participating entity sets form a super key of relationship. So the combination of primary keys of participating entity sets forms the super keys of a relationship set. For example, customer ID, account number is a super key of depositor. Now, this means a pair of entities can have at most one relationship in a particular relationship set. Example, if we want to track all the access dates to each account by each customer, we cannot consume or assume a relationship for each access. We can use a multi-value attribute to identify the customer. We must consider the mapping coordinates in the relationship. When deciding what are the candidates, we need to consider semantics of relationship in selecting the primary key in case of more than one candidate key. So we need to consider semantics of relationship in selecting the primary key in case of more than one candidate key. Next, we are see the pictorial representation of ER diagram with a ternary relationship. So ternary relationship means more than two entity sets. So we are having three entity sets here, that is employee, branch and job. So it represents the ternary relationship. So we are having relationship employee branch by works on, from works on job is another entity sets. We are having relationship with works on. Cardinality constraints on ternary relationship. We allow at most one arrow out of ternary or greater degree relationship to indicate a cardinality constraint. Example, an arrow from works on to job indicates each employee works on at most one job at any branch. If there is more than one arrow, there are two ways of defining the meaning. Example, a ternary relationship or between A, B and C with arrows to B and C could mean each A entity associated with a unique entity from B and C, or each pair of entities from A, B is associated with a unique C entity, and each pair of A and C is associated with an unique B. Each alternative must have been used in different formalization. To avoid confusion, we outlaw more than one arrow. Binary versus non-binary relationship. Some relationships that appear to be non-binary may be better represented using binary relationship. So, eternal relationship, parents relating to a child to his or her father and mother, is best replaced by two binary relationships, that is father and mother. Using two binary relationships allow partial information. Example, only mother being no, but there are some relations that are naturally non-binary. For example, we have seen the work song. Next, we are seeing the design issues. So, use of entity sets with attributes. Choice mainly depends upon the structure of the enterprise being modeled and on semantics associated with the attribute in question. And next one is use of entity sets with relationships. Possible guidelines to designate a relationship set to describe an action that occurs between the entities. And binary versus n-array relationship sets. Although it's possible to replace any non-binary array relationship set by a number of distinct primary relationship sets, a non-array relationship set shows more clearly that several entities participate in a single relationship. And placement of relationship attributes. So these are some of the design issues between the entity sets as well as attributes, as well as relationship sets with entity sets, binary versus n-array relationship sets. And weak entity sets. An entity set that does not have a primary key is referred to as a weak entity set. If an entity set is not having a proper primary key, then it is called as weak entity set. The existence of a weak entity set depends upon the existence of a identifying entity set. It must relate to the identifying entity set through a total one-to-many relationship set from the identifying to the weak entity set. Identifying relationship duplicated using a double diamond is represented of having the relationship of weak entity set. The discriminator or partial key of a weak entity set is the set of attributes that distinguishes among all the entities of a weak entity set. The primary key of a weak entity is found by the primary key of the strong entity set on which the weak entity set is existence dependent, plus the weak entity is a discriminator. So always the weak entity will be depending upon the strong entity sets. So here we are seeing the pictorial representation of weak entity set. We duplicate a weak entity set of by a double rectangle. So here the double rectangle, the payment is considered as a weak entity set since we cannot have any attribute as a primary key. We underline the discriminator of entity set with a dashed line. So here we are having the dashed line discriminator of a weak entity sets. Payment number discriminator of the payment entity set. Primary key of payment loan number. So here the payment number will be jointly act as a primary key along with loan number. So loan number and payment number will be both considered as a primary key. So since the payment number alone cannot be considered as a primary key, is totally dependent upon the another one entity, strong entity, that is loan. The loan number plays the primary key for payment as well as loan. Note, the primary key of the strong entity is not explicitly stored with the weak entity since it is implicit in the identifying the relationship. If loan number were explicitly stored, payment could not be made a strong entity, but the relationship between the payment and loan would be duplicated by an implicate relationship defined by the attribute loan number common to payment and loan. Next, we are going to see about the specialization. The top-down design process, we designate subgrouping within an entity set that are distinctive from other entities in the set. These subgrouping become lower level entity sets that have attributes or participate in relationship that do not apply to the higher level entity sets, depicted by a triangle component labeled ISA, that is example customer is A. So it will be depicted by a triangle will be having is A. And then attribute inheritance, a lower level entity set inherits all the attributes and relationship participation among the higher level entity sets to which it is linked. So it's an example for specialization. So we are having higher level entity person, attributes name, street, city. So here the specialization is a employee. So a person is an employee and a person is a customer. So and another we are having high level entity into a specialization of employee is a officer, teller or secretary. So they can act as an officer, teller or secretary. So it's a specialization from higher level entity to the lower level entity. Generalization. So a bottom-up designing process combining a number of entities that share the same features into high level entities. Specialization and generalization are simple inversions of features. They are represented in a diagram in the same way, but the only difference is top down as well as bottom up. The terms specialization and generalization are used interchangeably. Can have multiple specialization of an entity set based on different features. Example, permanent employee versus temporary employee in addition to officer versus secretary as teller. Each particular employee would be a member of one permanent employee or temporary employee and also a member of one officer, secretary or teller. So the ECA relationship is also referred to as superclass and subclass relationship. Design constraints on a specialization, generalization. Constraints on which entities can be number of given lower level entity set. Condition defined. Example, all customers over 65 are members of senior citizen entities. So senior citizens are having the age of above 16 years is also a person. And then user defined. Constraint on whether or not entities belong to more than one level entity with a single generalization. Disjoint. An entity can belong to only one lower level entity set noted in the diagram by writing this joint next to a triangle. Overlapping. An entity can belong to more than one lower level entity sets. And then completeness constraint specifies whether or not an entity in the higher level entity must belong to at least one of the lower entity set within a generalization. So that is total. Entity must belong to the one of the lower entity, then it is called as total. An entity need not belong to one of the lower entity, then it can be as a partial. And next topic is aggregation. So aggregation is nothing but considering the ternary relations works on which we have seen earlier. So here we are having the ternary relationship. Suppose we want to record managers for tasks performed by an employee at a branch. So we are having the ER diagram like this. So in aggregation, the relationship set works on and managers represents the overlapping information. Every manager's relationship corresponding on works on relationship. However, some works on relationships may not be correspond to the manager relationships. So we cannot discard the works on relation. Eliminate this redundancy via aggregation. So treat relationship as an abstract entity. Allow relationship between relationship. Abstraction of relationship into new entity. Without introducing redundancy, the following diagram represents the An employee works on a particular job at a particular branch. An employee branch job combination may have associated on a manager. So it will be changed or it will be aggregated the higher level entity, and then it will be having the relationship managers with manager. So it's an example of an ER diagram for a banking enterprise. So a complete look of an banking enterprise having different number of entity sets and their relationships. So summary of symbols. So what we have seen already, the entity sets are represented by rectangle, vacant sets is represented by a double line of an rectangle, relationship is represented by diamond, and identifying relation set of vacant sets is represented by the double line of diamond, and then primary key is underlined, attribute ellipse, multiple ellipse or double line of ellipse, and then derived attribute dashed line, total partition is identified by the double line, discriminating attribute of weekend sets is done by a dashed line underline. And many to many we may not be having arrow mark, one to one we will be having arrow mark, and the role name is a role indicator, total generalization means double line we will be having, many to one relationship means we will be having empty and arrow mark, cardinal line limits lower and higher ends, easier specialization or generalization, and then disjoint is disjoint generalization is also represented by the triangle. And alternative orientations are asterisk, many to many, and then one to one we are indicating as a numbers, many for many we are representing as asterisk, and one for one to one. Now we are going to see about the reduction of an ER schema into tables. So now we have designed the ER diagram. Now we are going to do the reduction of ER schema into tables. Primary key allows entity sets and relationship sets to be expressed uniformly as tables, which represents the contents of the database. A database which conforms to an ER diagram can be represented by a collection of tables. For each entity set and relationship set, there is a unique table which is assigned the name of corresponding entity set or relationship set. Each table has a number of columns generally corresponding to the attributes which have unique name. Converting the ER diagram to table format is the basis of deriving the relation database design for an ER diagram. So here we are having converted the ER diagram to table of strong entity set, reduces the table with same attributes. So in reducing the entity sets of strong entity into table is having no problem. The same column what we have seen in the ER diagram are converted into table. And then now we are going to see about the composite and multi-value attributes. So we have already seen the name as well as address as a composite, and then phone number as multi-valued attribute. So here we can have divided into further into different attributes. We can able to create separate attributes for the first name, last name, or we can have the single name. So it depends upon the user. And then multi-value we can have different entry of the phone number representing weak entity set. So here we can see is joined with strong entity set, loan number, payment date, and payment amount. So loan number is a attribute of strong entity set, and payment number is a primary key acts according with loan number. And then representing relationship set as table. So here The relationship sets are converted into tables by having the primary key of one entity and the primary key of another entity. The table of relationship borrow are shown as the customer ID and loan number. Redundancy of the tables. Many to one-to-many relationships that are total and many side of a repository can be added an extra attribute to the many side containing the primary key of the one side. Instead of creating the table for relationship account branch, add an attribute branch to the entity set account. So instead of creating another one table, the particular entity attribute branch will be added to the entity set account. For one-to-one relationship sets, either side can be chosen as a many side. This an extra attribute can be added to either of table corresponding to the two entity sets. If participation is parallel, partial on the many side, replacing the table by an extra attribute of the relation corresponding to the many side could result in null values. The table corresponding to the relationship linking a weak entity to its identifying strong entity is redundant. The payment table already contains information that would appear in the loan payment table. So the two columns loan number and payment number will be in the table. So representing specialization as tables. Method 1, it can be considered as two methods. Method 1, form a table for the high level entity and form a table for each level entity including the primary key of high level entity and local attributes. For example, here person is a higher level entity. Here we are creating one table person with name, street, city, where name acts in primary key, and then customer for customer next level of entity. So the name is considered here as a primary key, and then for employee the name is also considered as a primary key. So the common name is being acting as a primary key to all the three tables. Drawback in this method is getting information about example employee requires accessing two tables. So if you want to get the information, we have to access the two tables. So method 2 is form a table for each entity set with all local and inherited attributes. So here person, name, street, city, and another here name, street, city also having included in the customer table, and then in employee table also the name, street, city has been included along with the salary column. If specialization is total, table of generalization entity person are required to store information. It can be defined as a view relation containing union of specialization tables, but explicit table may still be needed for foreign key constraints. And drawback is street and city may be stored redundantly for persons who are both customers as well as employees. Relations corresponding to aggregation. To represent aggregation, create a table containing primary key of the aggregation relationship, a primary key of the associated entity set, any descriptive attributes. So for aggregation, we will be having the primary key of the aggregate relationship as well as the primary key of the associated entity set and any descriptive attributes. Example to represent aggregation, managers between relationship works on an entity set. Manager creates a table, managers, employee ID, branch name, title, branch name, and that table works on is redundant provided we will be linked to store null values for attribute name, attribute manager name in table managers. Thank you.